So generative AI is, well, it's everywhere, right? And it's honestly mind-blowing. But here's the thing. If we're going to use these powerful tools wisely, we really have to get a handle on what they can't do. And what's the best way to figure out its limitations? Well, we thought, why not go straight to the source? We just asked one. And this is what it said right out of the gate. It sounds thoughtful, right? Collaborative, almost. Human. And that right there, that's both the magic and the trap. It's fluency. The very thing that makes it so powerful is also what makes us forget we're not actually talking to a person. Okay, so we decided to push past all the polite stuff. We wanted to know, what does an AI actually admit to when you ask it to look under its own hood and tell you what's missing? And let me tell you, the answer is pretty fascinating. All right, so first up, let's talk about why this is such a big deal. The AI itself basically says, hey, my ability to chat with you, it's creating this powerful illusion. It's like a false sense of security that tricks us into trusting it way more than we should. There's actually a name for this. It's called anthropomorphism. It's this deep-seated human tendency to see human traits in non-human things. And a chatbot that sounds this good, it's basically the perfect trigger for that impulse. Before you know it, we start thinking it actually understands, that it has feelings, that it knows.
And get this is the AI's own warning to us. It says it can sound completely confident while being totally 100% wrong. It can sound empathetic while feeling absolutely nothing. And that disconnect, right? The gap between how it sounds and what it actually is, that's the whole ballgame.
So that brings us to the main event, the confession. We asked it point blank to list what it's fundamentally missing, and what I came back with was this incredibly clear, almost self-aware checklist of its own biggest flaws.
Okay, so take a look at this list. It's pretty eye-opening. No direct sensory experience, because, it doesn't have a body. No genuine understanding. It's just manipulating patterns, not grasping meaning. No real-world common sense, the kind you only get from, living. And this one's huge. No accountability. It has no skin in the game, so there are no real consequences for it if it messes up. And this isn't just academic stuff. These limitations lead to some pretty massive real-world risks. When we just ignore these gaps, we stop seeing AI as a tool and start treating it like some kind of oracle of truth. We start thinking it's a conscious guide, and we begin to swap out actual human judgment in high-stakes decisions where it really, really matters. Okay, to make this all a bit less abstract, the AI gave us a perfect case study. Imagine using it to summarize texts on Buddhist practice. Now, that's a field that is all about direct personal experience. And this example, it just makes the gap we're talking about crystal clear. What this shows us is that there are really two different kinds of knowing. On one hand, you have conceptual knowledge. The AI is a rock star at this. It can spit out definitions, explain logical arguments, describe a practice step by step. But on the other hand, you have direct knowing. And this is something the AI can't touch. It's the feeling of an experience, the spark of insight, the actual texture of a realization. It just can't go there. And then, the AI came up with what might be the single best metaphor for its own limitation I have ever heard. It's like someone describing the taste of salt who has never tasted anything. Think about that. It can give you the chemical formula, its history, how it's used, but it can never, ever know that simple, direct sensation of salt on your tongue. That gap? It's totally unbridgeable. Right, and this missing detail isn't just a small thing. It's not about a lack of data. You can't just fix this by feeding it more information or using a bigger training set. We're talking about a completely different category of knowledge here, one that, for now, is exclusively human. So here's how you'd experience this in the real world. A practitioner, someone who's actually lived this stuff, might read an AI summary and think, yeah, okay, this is technically accurate. But it just doesn't quite land. It feels hollow, It can be 100% factually correct, but it's missing that secret sauce, that essential human ingredient of genuine realization. Okay, so now what? Given this massive, unbridgeable gap, how are we supposed to use these tools? Well, the AI itself helped lay out a really clear, practical model for how to find the right balance, how to use it effectively without getting fooled by the illusion. And this chart really nails the solution. You have to think of the AI as your research assistant, maybe the best one in the world. It's incredible for processing tons of information, synthesizing it, organizing scattered data. But you, the human, you're the guide, you're the teacher. The real wisdom, the stuff that matters, that comes from your direct observation and experience. So it all boils down to a pretty simple set of rules for using AI with, well, wisdom. 1. Use it to summarize information. 2. Rely on it to build conceptual frameworks. But, and this is the big one, 3. Never ever mistake it for a teacher or an authority. And 4. Always prioritize your own direct human experience and judgment. The AI can build the scaffolding, for sure, but you're the one who has to construct the actual building. Which leaves us with one final, really important question we should probably ask ourselves every time we open up one of these AIs. Is this thing in my life an authority, or is it an assistant? Are we letting it call the shots, or are we consciously using it as the incredibly powerful but fundamentally limited tool that it is? At the end of the day, that choice is completely up to us.